So this is what you should be doing now to get prepared for Daisy. Number one, make sure that everyone has a Tron link, whether it's a Tron Link app. If you're on the Apple, if you're on the iPhone, it's just Tron Link app. If you're on the Android, it's Tron Link Pro. Make sure that everyone has a Tron Link. Open up your Tron Link. Then you need to fund your Tron Link. What does that mean? You could click on one is Trust, one is Binance. You could buy Tron from, okay? Because you will need Tron to put in your ProLink app, all right? So that's number one. Get a ProLink app, then buy some Tron. Now, once you have your Tron and your Tron Link account, if you have not joined Daisy yet, you need a referral link. When they send you their Daisy link, you'll then take that Daisy link, and in your Tron Link app, you'll go down to the bottom of the Tron Link app. It's going to say browser or it's going to say discover. Either one, difference between the phone that you're using. You'll paste that Tron Link app in there. When you do so, it's going to take you to the Daisy website, and then you can start to buy your tiers in Daisy. Okay, now here's a philosophy I highly, highly recommend. If you understand how Daisy's referral plan works and how Daisy's trading platform works through Endotech, you'll make money through the trading platform based on Endotech's production over the X amount of years. Now, as I've always stated to everybody, don't invest anything you can't afford to lose. Okay, don't invest a dime you cannot afford to lose. One more time, don't invest a dime you cannot afford to lose. Don't spend a dime you cannot afford to lose. Because as I stated many times, we're not an investment group. We don't deal in securities, annuities. You don't have to have a Series 7. We don't do any of that stuff. Everything we do is international, and it's through cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is deregulated, so you can buy and sell cryptocurrency however you want to sell it. Okay, around the world. So let me make that very clear. So when you buy your tiers, don't buy any tier that you can't afford to buy or lose. Now, this is my strategy. If I buy a tier and I make money, I'm not going to spend any of that money. This is for Daisy. Now, other platforms have different strategies. I'm going to try my best to get to tier 10 as fast as humanly possible so I can max out the money that's being traded for me, and I can max out the referral plan. One more time. I'm going to do my best to get to the highest tier possible so I can max out the money that's being traded for me, and I can start to max out the referral plan. So let's say you start at tier 1. You make some money, take everything you have, in my opinion, and upgrade to the next tier. And keep doing that until you get to the highest tier based on the profits you made. Typically, I would tell people to take their profits and break them in thirds. Okay? What I did for Daisy, I said I wasn't going to break any profits in thirds until I reached the top level. Got it? Now, some of you may not be able to do that. So you're probably going to have to take your profits, break them in thirds, put some back into your household, and put that other piece back into Daisy, or store it there until you get to where you need to get to the next tier. Some of you are going to have to do that, and that's fine too. Okay? But to maximize the Daisy referral plan, you want to get to the highest tier as fast as humanly possible. That's a big deal. Now, for those of you who don't, look, I'm not referring to anybody, leave me alone. Great, still get to the highest tier you can so you can have more money trading for you. Either way, the name of the game is getting to the highest tier possible, the fastest as humanly possible. I have friends right now that, you know, my international friends who joined Daisy, they're rock and rolling. They made money when we were open, you know, before we had to shut down for a second. And then they took that money their first days, and they just kept buying tiers and buying tiers and buying tiers. In my opinion, smartest thing to do based on how the referral plan works if you're working the referral plan. Now, if you're not working the referral plan, again, buy whatever tier you can, you know, but the highest the tier, the better, because you have more money trading for you. Those are the philosophies that I use when it comes to using Daisy. Now, you know, I'm not doing a full comp plan thing here, but just some things to understand. The Pacesetter program is huge. It's huge. How do you qualify for Pacesetter? It's a lot of free money, guys. It's huge. How do you qualify for Pacesetter? Real simple. Find 24 people who want to make money on their money. 24 people who want to put their money that they can afford to lose in the hands of Endotech and let Endotech do the trading for them and they make their profit. Find 24 of those. Out of those 24, between those 24, you have to have 128,000 worth of tier purchases. So between those 24 people, not individually, but between those 24 people, you have to have 128,000 worth of tier purchases. Your purchase doesn't count towards this 128,000. Now, if you do the math, that's about $5,300 each. Simple, easy to do, especially if you've been invested with us for a while. But you're going to have some instances where, like me, some people are going to come straight at tier 10. They're going to throw $102,000 in there. I'm like, great. One person, $102,000. Well, guess what? Now, I only need 23 people. Between those 23 people, all they have to do, let's do it. You need 28 more thousand. So real simple math here. 28,000 divided by 23 people is only $1,200 each. Bingo. And I think that's like level 4 or something like that, maybe level 5. So some of you will be fortunate enough to have someone like myself who bought all 10 tiers. And that way you know, the other folks can buy wherever they fit in. And many of you will hit Pacesetter. Like we already have 70 plus Pacesetters already. And for the most part, every one of those Pacesetters made 50 grand to over 100 grand. Some made in excess of 300 grand within their first 48 hours of the initial launch of Daisy with all the issues. I mean, all the issues. Well, the issues will be gone within the next 48 hours, okay? Which is phenomenal. Well, they're gone now, but they're just doing some tests because they don't want anybody to have to go through what we went through before, even though we didn't really go through anything. You know, literally just some work. And unfortunately, whenever you try to do a transaction, when it failed, you got hit with $4.50. You know, that sucks. But, you know, I'm sure people didn't keep pushing the button over and over and over and over and over again. That wouldn't make any sense. But with that said, we're excited about what's going to happen with Daisy. We're excited about the reopening of Daisy. It's huge. It's huge. And you want to make sure you capitalize on it. So the best thing you could do, in my opinion, is get as much Tron in your hand as humanly possible. Because when Daisy reopens for the first 48 hours, there's no recruiting requirements. So what does that mean to you? It means get to the highest position possible. You got to hear me when I say this. Get the highest tiers possible within the 48 hours because there's no recruiting requirements. And as people follow your matrix, or as you build your own spillover for your matrix, you make a ton of money hand over fist. You have 30 days to hit Pacesetters. Okay, so the 30 days is going to be reset. So within the next 48 hours or 72 hours, when Daisy reopens, the 30 days is going to be reset. We'll start all over. And some of you, why is this huge? Because some of you already got 15, 12, 20 people. I just spoke to somebody the other day. It's like, man, I got 22 people. Only needs 2 more. I was like, okay, you got 30 days to do it. Literally. So some of you are at an advantage. All of you right now who are listening to me right now, all of you who are already in Daisy, okay, all my international brothers and sisters who are already in Daisy that are listening to my voice right now, it's like a pre-launch. You're in before the floodgates open. You don't understand. We have so many people around the world, you know, close to over 1 million people, because there are a whole bunch of different language barriers that slowed a whole bunch of stuff down when we initially launched, position themselves to join Daisy. But you're ahead of them. That's a clue. And so you want to make sure you maximize by getting to the highest level humanly possible. Get as much Tron as you can to get to the highest level humanly possible. Make sure that your TronLink account has energy in it and make sure it has bandwidth. Rule of thumb is 5,000 of each. Actually, you start off with 5,000 in free bandwidth. You start off with some energy and it costs you pennies to change that energy to 5,000. It's pennies, it's no money. Okay, so make sure you have both of those so that way you don't have any hiccups or debacles when you transfer money back and forth between Daisy and your Tron Link app. Daisy will be relaunching within the next 48 to 72 hours, maybe more like 48 than 72, because everything is done right now. Just doing some tests, doing as many tests as humanly possible to make sure there's no debacles when we start again, okay? But again, because of the 48-hour period, the best thing you could do for yourself is to get as much Tron as humanly possible. It's humanly possible. So you can upgrade, because the first 48 hours, there are no recruiting requirements. Meaning you don't have to bring anybody in and you'll get paid on everybody who falls into your matrix that you're qualified to get paid for. How do you qualify to get paid for a lot of people? Come at the highest level possible. I know when we first initially launched, I had people reach out to me. Some of my international brothers and sisters who didn't get it. It's like, yeah, man, I came in at level 3. And I was like, yeah. How much money you make? Oh, I didn't make much because you came in at level 3. Even with the relaxed, no qualifications. So stretch yourself. Do what you have to do. At the end of the day, whatever tier you purchase is being traded for you by Endotech anyway. So don't, as I always say, invest in money you can't afford to lose. But whatever you do invest is traded by Endotech anyway. And we can't give what the future projections will be, but you guys know the numbers. In November, they did 360+%. In December, they did 511%. And so unless they just implode and fall off the face of the earth, and they've been around since 2012, I don't see that happening. So unless they just fall apart, if they do, then we're in trouble. We don't lose some money. Okay, and we'll live to have another day. But they've been around since 2012. They work with major institutions and lending institutions all around the world. I think they're going to be here for a while. I think you do too. And so with that, just wanted to jump on real quick. Share this with your groups. All my international brothers and sisters, let's rock and roll. We're about to have the time of our life. And so be ready. As Tiffany Haddish said, I'm ready. So now get ready, y'all, because it's about to be crazy. But look forward to the next couple of days. It's going to be astronomical. We'll break more records and people make a whole bunch more money. All right, so get prepared now. Get your TronLink app, get your Tron in place, and be prepared for those first 48 hours to get the highest positions you possibly can, the highest tiers. And a lot of people made a lot of money because of that. Because with no tiers, you're going to be with no recruiting requirements, you're going to be in a position to make a ton of money.